So we're gonna talk about my 1.5 gram lemon tech uh, shroom trip that I took with my childhood best friend, and we went hiking, and it was just overall one of the most like it wasn't sort of like it was there wasn't any like life changing moment or anything like that. It was just a really cool trip, and the combination of me and him doing it together and where we were at, the music we were listening to, like all of it just like created such a beautiful moment by the end of the trip, and it had nothing to do with the trip at all. So, it was like right before summer, a couple months ago, like 4 months ago, probably 4 or 5 months ago, something like that. And me and my friend grew up together basically, knew him since like first, second grade, something like that. And we moved to Georgia back in like 2015, something like that, 2016. And they ended up moving to Georgia as well, like 6 months after. So we always end up seeing each other at least a couple times a year. And this happened to be, I was leaving for like a 3 month trip to go travel the country. And he was like, "Yo, you want to go hike, do some shrooms?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I'm down to go do that." You know, at this point, I had probably tripped maybe 20 times, something like that. But I always trip by myself. So this was the first time I was tripping with somebody else, and I had no problem with tripping with him just because I knew him, I trusted him. I didn't it wasn't like either you don't want to trip with people you don't know, people you don't trust, and the environment that we were going to be in, it was going to be just a hike. We were going to go early, so there wasn't going to be many people there. So it was going to be chill, so I wasn't worried about it. So, boom, wake up and go. Pick them up. We get the shrooms. We go get some food for the hike. We get some pineapple because pineapple is so good on shrooms. Every time, and I explain it to every single person I've ever done it with, or ever told them about this when it comes to pineapple. You eat pineapple while tripping. You'll only understand if you've done it before. But it's like tasting the universe. That's the only way to explain it. It's literally like taking a bite into the universe. That's the only way I can explain it, describe it, and it's the best thing in the world. So, we're going to the hike. We park, I get the shrooms out. We put it in orange juice because the orange juice breaks it down first instead of our bodies breaking it down, so it hits us a little bit harder, and the trip doesn't last as long. So we both took 1.5 grams, and we're hiking up the mountain, probably about 45 minutes in, and we both started to feel it. And a lot of the times, whenever you trip with somebody, you end up kind of linking up on the trip, so you'll end up coming up with them, peaking, and then coming down at the same time. Like you guys are just like locked in together at the same time. Um, so hike up the mountain, nothing really interesting. We're just a little out of breath because it's just all vert. And so we finally get to the top. We're both pretty much feeling it at this point. Um, we both lay down on the grass on top of this mountain, and the visuals just kind of take over. Uh, the vibes are great. Like we're both just chilling, laying down. He ends up standing up to go kind of walk around. I got up at one point to go walk around, and yeah, overall, like that part of the trip was just so beautiful. Nice sunny day too, so like nothing could go wrong. And then finally, we both peak, come down, or yeah, so we both kind of peak, and then he comes back, and he ends up coming back and sitting with me, because I had been laying down, and then he had gotten up to go walk around, and then came back. Anyways, we're sitting down, and on the car ride up, we are talking about music, this and that, and I had brought up Grateful Dead. I was like, "Have you ever listened to the Grateful Dead before?" He was like, "No, I haven't." So I was like, "Okay, bet we're gonna listen to some Grateful Dead while we trip because they're great trip music. At least it's some of my favorite. Just the vibes are always great. Like you can't have a bad time with the Grateful Dead. You really can't." Um, so I put it on, and mind you, me and him we're in our 20s, so we've got zero like our Grateful Dead is dead and co. You know, because Jerry Garcia died in '95, and now they're no longer the Grateful Dead. They're Dead and Company. Also, I'm filming this on Jerry Garcia's birthday. That's kind of crazy. Holy shit. Anyways, so I go to play Grateful Dead. I play Ripple. That's the first song because it's like I think a perfect introduction song. Now, off in the distance, maybe like 20 feet behind us, two older ladies and an older guy, probably 70s. These guys, they lived during like the prime, right? They grew up on this stuff. And I kid you not, Ripple starts to play, and the older guy is laying down on the grass. And as he's going to lay down on the grass, the song starts to play. And if you've ever heard like an older person get like really happy, like you can really hear it in their voice whenever they're just happy. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe I felt it a little bit more then because we were on the shrooms, so maybe that little bit enhanced it. But in the moment, I could tell the guy heard the song, and in the happiest voice, with the two ladies next to him, he goes, "You hear what they're playing over there?" Because he heard the Grateful Dead playing. And it's just like that moment of like making somebody else's day unintentionally through the music was just such a beautiful moment because he was so happy to hear it. And then my friend's listening to it, he's enjoying it, and then he starts busting out laughing, and just like that contagious non-stop laugh that you get on shrooms sometimes. And all of that happens. 20 minutes, 30 minutes goes by. The older guy gets up, and he yelled over to us. He was like, "I love the tunes that you're playing," because he had heard it, obviously. And whatever, like, we talked to him for a second, whatever, he leaves. Going down, and then after that, we both get up. We go to take pictures, because at this point we hadn't taken a single picture because we were just like we were just enjoying the visuals, enjoying the mood, whatever. We go to take a picture, and my friend asked me, he was like, "You want a picture?" I was like, "Nah, I'm just gonna live in the moment." And I kid you not, within a second of me saying that, a lady comes up behind us and she's like, "You guys want a picture together?" And I was like, "Fuck, fine." It was like the universe was just like, "Bro, you know you want the picture, just take the fucking picture." So that was a funny moment. And then we're walking back down the mountain at this point. We catch up to the older guy and the two ladies that he was with, and we start talking with him, and turns out he went to a bunch of the Dead shows whenever he was like our age. And he was like, "Yes, I got to see Jerry Garcia, went to a ton of their shows." And it was just overall just a really cool moment. He just, two completely different generations that bonded over the same music. Just because I don't know how to explain it. It was just a really beautiful moment. And when I was looking at it from an outside perspective, it was just like he probably saw me and my friend listening to the same music that he would listen to when he was our age. So, 50 years prior, probably. We were doing the same thing that him and his friends were doing. And I think it was just a really cool moment. I don't know how to explain it to the point where you can feel how I feel about it. But it was just overall just such a beautiful moment. And it was just like, I don't know how to explain it, but it was the most beautiful experience I've ever had on shrooms. Not because of the shrooms, if that makes sense. Because the shrooms didn't do anything. It was the moment that was created because me and my friend decided to take shrooms. So it was like the decision of taking shrooms, not the shrooms itself, if that makes sense. But anyways, the point was just like, it was just a really beautiful moment that I had and a beautiful experience. And we were just so grateful. No pun intended, but that was like we were both at the end of the trip. We're just like trying to figure out like words to describe on how we felt, and we both came up with grateful, unintentionally, like But yeah, it was probably, I would say it's definitely the most memorable, like happy trip that I've had. Just because of how it all played out. I don't know how to explain it. I really don't. I really don't. It's just a moment in time that I love to look back on, because it was just so genuine. It was so, I don't know. It was just a genuine, beautiful moment that I love. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, but yeah, that was probably the most beautiful experience, most yeah, best experience, beautiful moment I've had on shrooms, and it wasn't even because of the shrooms. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I will see you guys in the next video, and I'm hoping, my goal is to upload every single day of August. So this one's gonna come out tonight. So this is August 1st, basically. Jerry Garcia's birthday. Happy birthday, Jerry Garcia. The timing on this one, unintentional, but goated. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.